Zdaj pa. Hi everyone, I'm from Slovenia. My name is Maja Vunšek and I'm an assistant director of Kranj City Library, a cozy modern library, public library which serves our municipality and its 57,000 inhabitants. Our library is also a lighthouse library, a part of a new initiative for public libraries in Europe supported by PL 2030 organization. I love my job and I vote for libraries.
Hello, also from my side. My name is Irena Joveva and I'm also from Slovenia. I was elected for a member of the European Parliament last year. Before I became a politician, I was a journalist for 8 years. So my focus in politics or in the parliament are youth, media, education, health, climate change, and so on. I also love my job and I also love to read books. So I also love libraries.
Thank you very much and kindly welcome Mrs. Irena Joveva, Slovenian member of European Parliament. I'm really excited to have an opportunity talking to you about your work in EU Parliament, connecting to library topics today. So, Generation Code, born at the library, was in no COVID-19 days, a real interactive exhibition showcasing the top digital exhibits from public libraries across EU. The exhibition takes place every year at the European Parliament during EU Code Week and shows how future technologies and are interacting with libraries in Europe. This year, everything is different. We are online now, so things are changing. As library buildings shut across Europe earlier this year, due to COVID-19 pandemic, libraries quickly moved to online activities to maintain contact with their community. What has it been like working during this pandemic for you? And after you returned to European Parliament, what is it like to work there now?
Well, you're right. It's completely changed. Everything is changed in the last 6 months, or now it's already 7 months. The corona pandemic upturned our working conditions, our known working patterns, and it has created a completely unknown working territory for types of work. So in the first few months, it has been really challenging for all of us. The European Parliament did not have an online meetings platform established before the pandemic. So it took us a while, to figure out how to efficiently do our jobs remotely from a distance. But I must say, after a month or two, the IT team from the Parliament actually created a great platform for online meetings that's sustainable for large number of participants. That was the main problem, how to get so many people online on one meeting. Now the platform allows us to work efficiently, and after 7 months of working like this, I must say that it almost feels normal. Even though we regularly use the mentioned platform, we also use smaller tools for smaller meetings like Zoom. But of course, also a lot of work gets done via telephones or emails. Having said that, there are still some challenges. There are always pluses and minuses. It's hard to coordinate everything from a distance because, it's easier to reach a consensus or a compromise when negotiating in person. I have actually not yet been to the European Parliament since the beginning of the pandemic. So I am at home since March 10th. That was the last time I was in Brussels. Yes, but I have been in contact with my colleagues, and I have seen the way it works from afar. It actually remains the same as it was in March. It's still the same today. There are still strict measures applied, restricted number of people in rooms, maintaining the respected distance, mandatory masks, and so on. And all of the work still remains online. So it's not a big issue if we are not there. We work the same. We still have online meetings and everything. So if you're physically present in Brussels, you can be in a meeting room, of course, with respecting all the measures. But most of us still rather use the teleworking techniques. Also, the voting system is the same for the ones that are in Brussels or the ones that are at home. So everything is more or less online. So that's why I'm staying at home for now. As I've said, at this point, it really seems that we have created new normal working conditions, which could be used also in future, even when the Corona crisis passes.
So it's not so bad at all. You are at home and working and doing the same job as you do in the parliament. Good,
Yes.
very good to know. So the recovery package, Next Generation EU, will play a key role in EU recovery. What do you hope to see as a priority of this package?
I must say that I agree completely with the first statement. I'm sure that it will most definitely play the key role because the Next Generation EU as a central pillar of RRF, that's Recovery and Resilience Fund, together with Just Transition Mechanism and all the other mechanisms established now, that's all a part of a new European recovery instrument. And its main purpose is to support the member states in recovering from the crisis, kickstarting the economy, while also helping private investments and to ensure greater stability in the future, should such unfortunate event as this pandemic happen again. Hopefully not, but still. The priority will be to, first of all, to tackle the economic and health crisis, but alongside, there will also be a priority of the digital development and the fight against climate change, which I'm especially pleased about because it will help us achieve a significant goal of becoming first carbon neutral continent in the world. So the proposal includes also equal opportunities for everyone under the slogan, leave no one behind. So I really hope that this will become a reality and, not only a word on the paper. And I'm also glad that the Commission President Ursula von der Leyen is supporting the European Parliament stand on the relating rule of law mechanism to the funds granted for each member state as a mechanism against exploitation and abusing of the funds. But looking at the proposals and the current development, I am not completely satisfied because I regret the low inclusion of culture, the lack of plans for housing and youth employment. It's a little bit ironic that the package is called Next Generation and you don't have a lot of things in there for especially youth employment stuff. So the draft proposal of the multi-annual financial framework, that's the European budget, is sadly currently lowering the funds for very successful and great programs such as Erasmus+, European Solidarity Corps, Creative Europe program. So that's not good, but me and my like-minded colleagues from the Parliament are strongly committed to ensuring the much needed funds for the programs, and we will do our best for the cuts not to happen.
Great. We will follow you. Okay. So you are also a member of Committee on Culture and Education. What EU priorities are you focusing on? Are there any interesting dossiers you are working on that you could tell us about?
Yes, well, my main priorities in the Culture and Education Committee are focusing on youth, education, culture, media freedom, also digitalization connected to the artificial intelligence and to sports. So currently, maybe the most interesting dossier is that I'm working on the European Solidarity Corps program mentioned earlier. It's actually an important EU initiative which creates opportunities for young people to volunteer or to work in projects all around Europe, giving them great opportunity to engage in meaningful activity, resulting in getting work experience, and of course, it's also a great stepping stone into the career prospect. In the Cult Committee, we are also currently working on the Creative Europe program, Erasmus Plus program, already mentioned, on various artificial intelligence reports related to the education, culture, and audiovisual sector, shaping digital education policy, and of course, we are trying to minimize the effects of COVID-19 in culture, in media, in education, and in sports.
Thank you. So in your opinion, where could libraries be the most effective in contributing to EU priorities over the coming years? Do you talk about libraries at all?
Well, in the parliament or in the committees, not in a politician or in working kind of way, but I think there are many ways that anyone and everyone can contribute, to the EU priorities. So the main two priorities over the coming years I already mentioned. It's going to be digitalization and climate change. And I think that there are really many ways that the libraries can also contribute to both, but they are all related to education. So I think that libraries could do great work in educating people, for example, about climate change by organizing roundtables, seminars, workshops, helping people to understand what they as individuals can do to contribute to our common European goal. I know that the circumstances now are not appropriate for mega events, but here the digitalization kicks in. We or you can do online events. Also not only about climate change, but also about digital services, internet safety, finding the right informations and so on with good sources. It's going to be essential, I think. The workshop also will be or can be crucial for the older generations on how to use the new technologies, because as far as I know, almost every public library has computers. So I think that's maybe a good way for the older generations to educate themselves and become digitally literate. So I believe that libraries as a place of information are perfect for such an education.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. We are trying to do our best. So thank you very much for your interesting answers. But before the final question, I'm kindly inviting you to MEP Library Lovers Group, which brings together members of European Parliament from around the Europe. So all those members are passionate about reading and libraries. So you are very kindly welcome to this interesting group. And please vote for libraries, because libraries makes you smarter.
I agree completely. I will join the group right immediately after this meeting.
Thank you very much. For the last question, we will switch to our mother tongue, Slovenian language. Torej, gospa Joveva, da zdaj še rečeva kakšno v slovenščini. Zadnje vprašanje, ki ga imam za vas, se v bistvu nanaša na naše slovenske splošne knjižnice. V letošnjem letu je Združenje splošnih knjižnic opravilo raziskavo, ki je zajela kar 67,9% anketirancev, ki so odgovorili, da so člani knjižnic, kar je kar visok procent. Statistični podatki za leto 2019 pa pravijo, da je v splošne knjižnice včlanjenih 22,2% celotnega prebivalstva Slovenije. Ali se po vašem mnenju slovenska politika zaveda, kakšen potencial so v bistvu knjižnice, da smo v bistvu najbolj odprt javen prostor in kaj bi nam svetovali za našo boljšo prepoznavnost?
Zdaj, prvi del tega vprašanja je zelo večplasten, tako da bom mogoče začela majčkeno bolj na splošno, preden konkretno odgovorim. Zdaj, če odgovorim na splošno, po mojem, kateregakoli politika ali političko bi vprašali, bi rekli, da se zavedajo potenciala in pomena splošnih knjižnic. Zdaj, koliko se pa z njimi ukvarjajo, ali pa politika ukvarja, je pa nažalost povsem drugo vprašanje. Knjižnice so po mojem mnenju mislim, ne po mojem mnenju, to je dejstvo, zakladnica pisane besede in s tem se ohranja naša kultura, zgodovina in naš jezik, konec koncev. Hkrati pa se nam s tem omogoča dostop do neskončne količine informacije, ne, ki jo je nemogoče imeti recimo doma na knjižnih policah, tudi če bi želeli. Jaz si želim, pa to ne gre. Tako da jaz osebno mislim, da je raven poudarjanja pomena knjižnic v politiki prenizka, kar je nažalost skladno z nizkim deležem poudarjanja pomena kulture in kulturnih politik v Sloveniji. Ne. Recimo politični igralci, ki igrajo ključno vlogo na področju kulture, naprimer Ministrstvo za kulturo, po mojem mnenju premalo opozarja na težave, ki se kažejo na področju kulture in se to potem neposredno izraža tudi v prepoznih odzivih ali celo v neodzivih, ne, pri raznoraznih problematikah na tem področju. Jaz mislim, da je prav, da država skupaj z občinami skrbi za javno dostopne knjižnice in seveda tudi priskrbi njihovo financiranje, kot je določeno z zakonom o knjižničarstvu. Je pa dejstvo, da je obiskanost knjižnic odvisna od kulture in od navade branja, kar se ponavadi razvija v zgodnjih letih. Najbolj pogosto v osnovni šoli. Jaz lahko zase povem, da so meni v osnovni šoli starši prepovedali hoditi po knjižnico, ker sem pač samo brala, seveda ne učnega gradiva, ampak vse ostalo. Tako da so takšni in drugačni ekstremi, ne? Ampak je tudi zato po mojem vsekakor dobrodošli mehanizmi, kot je recimo bralna značka in podobno. Vseeno pa menim, da bi morali glavni akterji z tega področja, politični predvsem, stopiti skupaj, se pravi z področja izobraževanja in kulture in skupaj oblikovati neko strategijo za povečanje bralne kulture in še več obiskov v knjižnicah. Zdaj, kaj lahko storite ali storijo knjižnice na področju prepoznavnosti same? Eden izmed mehanizmov je absolutno organizacija dogodkov, ne, okrogle mize, branje poezije, potopisi, otroške delavnice, izobraževanja, ne vem, medgeneracijsko učenje, digitalna pismenost, podpisovanje knjig in tako naprej. Se pravi, kakršnakoli vrsta dogodkov, ki bi v knjižnico privabila še več ljudi. Zdaj vemo, da v tem trenutku epidemiološka slika ne dopušča nekih mega dogodkov, ampak ta pandemija ne bo trajala večno.
Tako je.
Tako da poleg tega pa jaz osebno menim, da je največji užitek pri branju knjig fizično prijeti knjigo in listati in brati, ne, ampak žal smer razvoja dogodkov gre v smeri digitalizacije in je vedno več ljudi, ki se poslužuje branja knjig preko teh elektronskih bralnikov, pa spletni časopisi, pa audio knjige. Tako da mislim, da je tukaj potem ključno, da knjižnice še bolj stopite v korak s časom in da se še bolj poveča ponudba teh modernih različic, ne, ki zagotavljajo možnost izposoje najnovejših knjig. Jaz še vedno vztrajam pri fizični obliki, ampak ne vem, koliko časa bo še to možno.
Bo. Odlično, zelo zanimivi odgovori, zelo sem vesela, da ste si vzeli čas za tale pogovor, da ste nam razložili tudi svojo sliko in svoj pogled na knjižnice in v bližnji prihodnosti vas prav toplo vabim v mestno knjižnico Kranj, morda na nek pogovor z mladimi, da se še z njimi pogovorite o teh vaših razmišljanjih. Tako da za danes se vam najlepše zahvaljujem. In upam, da ostanemo v stiku. Hvala lepa.
Z največjim veseljem. Hvala vam.
Hvala, nasvidenje. Hvala.
Adijo.